Hello, hello, hello. My name is Chika, and as a CPA, I help women entrepreneurs take the stress out of taxes, money, and their business finances. And I do it with ease and grace and a little bit of fun as well. So if you've ever felt totally lost when it comes to hiring an accountant, then this video is for you. This is a topic that a lot of people have asked me about. And so finally, we are doing it. You are not alone. Okay. I know you want the best accountant for you, someone who's going to make sure that you are in good hands, answer your questions, do great work, right? All those things matter. After all, you are paying them your hard earned money. So pay attention because in this video, I'll walk you through how to find the right accountant so you can finally feel supported and not stressed. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about why hiring the right accountant matters. So, first of all, it matters because you're going to be giving them your money. So, it matters. And you're talking about your taxes, your business, your finances, your well being, your peace of mind. So, this is a huge investment when it comes to who you choose as your accountant. And so, oftentimes we pick because of the price, right? Oh, somebody who works with Jimmy says that, oh, Jimmy only charges $100 for a tax return. So we go with that person because it's cheap. And I want you to know that is not the right reason to hire an accountant. When it comes to an accountant, think of it as someone who's going to be a part of your team, somebody who's going to be part of the success of your business or the detriment of your business. And I've seen it oftentimes, too often actually, where someone chooses someone who was recommended, or maybe they heard about the person on TikTok, but they did not vet the person properly. Do they have the credentials that they say they have? And the thing with an accountant, especially if you're choosing a CPA or an EA, enrolled agent, and enrolled agents are certified with the IRS, right? So with a CPA and an EA, you can easily look up the person's name on the website, right? So with the CPA, if you're in a certain state, right? So for me, I'm in California, you can look me up on the California CPA website. Or you can just Google CPA, how to find the right CPA. Is this person active, right? You want to find out all that information so that you have peace of mind that at least they have the education, right? We have to do continuing education every year or every 2 years. And so, are they up to date with current tax law? A person who is licensed, certified, generally they're going to be ethical, right? Because we need to abide by the laws of our licensure or our certification. And so that includes being ethical, being fair, and following the terms of keeping and having the license of CPA or EA. So that's going to be one of your best bets to make sure that they're licensed. And again, this matters because when it comes down to it, imagine if they do it wrong. Imagine if something goes wrong, whatever that is. Let's say you receive a letter from the IRS saying that you owe $5,000. Is your accountant going to be there for you when you show them this letter? Or is it going to be hard to get in touch with them? They don't answer emails, they're not responding to your phone calls. And I've heard these nightmare stories way too often where somebody does their tax return, somebody that they've hired, and they do the return, they file it with the IRS. A year later, they get a notice. And when they try to reach out to that accountant, the accountant is nowhere to be found. And so it's very, very sad that happens, but oftentimes it happens with people who are not credentialed. And so that's going to be a really, really important thing for you. Make sure that they're credentialed because being credentialed is going to generally help ease that stress, knowing that you can find them online. And I'm not just talking about their website, but with the state, right? With the government, you can see, okay, they've been an accountant for however many years and their status is active. Oftentimes there's CPAs or even EAs that are in inactive status. And so what that technically means is that they should not be practicing. They should not be taking on clients if they're in an inactive state. And so that's going to be very vital for you to know. Okay. And so let's talk about some signs that you don't have the right accountant. Some signs include, here you go, wanting to ask questions, whether you email them, whether you get on the phone with them, but they're nowhere to be found. Or they're taking weeks and weeks or even sometimes months to answer one email. That's not the right accountant for you. Generally, a good accountant is going to want to be there for their client. So if you're emailing them, if they're not able to answer within a day, they're going to at least respond to you within 48, 72 business hours to say, okay, give me time. I'll get you an answer. Or they're going to just get you that answer on the spot, right? So you want somebody who's communicative. So if they're not communicative, it feels like you're chasing them week after week, month after month. And when they finally do respond, they're not answering your whole question, right? Let's say you ask 5 questions in your email. They finally respond after 2 weeks, and all they do is answer 1 of your 5 questions. You can imagine how frustrating that is, right? Even within our regular day to day, when let's say you are dating and you're talking to somebody and you're trying to get to know somebody, and you notice that they're being evasive or being very short with you, you don't want that in your potential partner, and you damn sure don't want that in your accountant. Okay. So make sure that they are communicative. And if they're not, that's a huge, huge red flag. That is not the accountant for you. Another red flag I would say is, again, we talked about credentialed. If you are a business owner, you generally need to be working with either a CPA or an EA, right? So there's ways that people can get certified. And I actually don't even recall the names of other types of certifications, but the most peace of mind will be that you go with a CPA, you go with an EA. And worst come to worst, if you're using like an H&R Block type of service, at least the H&R Block is covered by a CPA, right? And so generally the people that they get at the H&R Block, ideally they've gone through classes, and ideally the tax return can be reviewed by someone a little bit higher up than the person who prepared the return, right? So if there's 2 sets of eyeballs looking at the tax return, then that can be very helpful if you are going with like an H&R Block or something like that. Another sign that you do not have the right accountant is they don't make themselves available to you to ask questions once they file the return. For instance, like the way that I do it, I'm generally very thorough. So oftentimes a client will complete the organizer where they're answering all these questions, and there's a list that tells them based on their answers, please upload all of these documents, right? So oftentimes there might be accountants that only prepare the work based on what you've given them, but they don't use their critical thinking to say, oh, wait, this person checked the box that they have kids under age 10, right? Let's say that they have kids age 3 and age 5, let's just say, but yet you didn't give them any childcare expenses. And so because you didn't give it to them, they're not going to put it on the tax return. That's a red flag, because you want an accountant who's going to do reasonable deduction. Or what's the saying? They're going to be able to deduce from the information provided what is missing. They have kids aged 3 to 5. Both parents work full time. Who's taking care of the kids when the parents are working? And so, yes, it could be that there's a grandma at home, right? But if the accountant doesn't know the answer, you're not going to assume that it's a grandma at home. You're going to ask that question. And so, a red flag is that if they don't ask you questions, they accept what you give them, but they're not asking you questions, and it feels like something's off. Trust your feeling. Trust your feeling, because if you have that feeling that something's off, the next step is ask your accountant, check in with them, see if you can have a meeting. Hey, do you feel like I've given you everything? Is there something missing? Let me know. To me, that's really basic, but it's totally understood that when people go to accountants, they 100% trust the accountant to just know it all. And that's absolutely fair. You should have that trust, but make sure you are putting that trust into someone who is vetted, right? Someone who has the credentials, someone who has the testimonials, ideally on their website, Google or Yelp, right? Where people are saying really, really good things about this accountant, and you trusting your gut when you have conversations with the accountant, you feel secure that they're going to have your back. They're going to have your books together. Okay. That's very, very important. Now let's talk about questions to ask before you hire an accountant. All right. So let's say you book a call with someone, with an accountant that you're going to hire, that you are looking to hire. So you're on this call. What do you want to know? Key questions are, okay, who do you generally work with? Do you work with business owners? Do you work with nonprofits? So think about who you are. Think about what you have going on with your books, what your needs are, and ask those questions, because you want to see that they're not just competent in general, but that they have experience working with cases like yours. So do they have experience working with corporate returns? If, let's say, you're an S Corp, do they have S Corp clients? Let's say you are a retail shop with the brick and mortar. Do they have retail shops with brick and mortar, right? Like an in-person, go to the store location, right? So think about your situation and ask those questions of what you have. That's going to be one of the best questions to ask the accountant that you are looking to hire. Another question that's very, very important is, how do you like to communicate? I'm a person who, please send me an email, because for me, I want to have documentation about our conversations. So if I'm just answering the phone call, and yes, it's important to have conversations in real time, especially depending on what's happening. But what tends to go missing is having a record of that phone call. And so for me, please send me an email, and then based on what you need, if I feel like, oh, shoot, yeah, let's set up a time to talk, then boom, I'm sending you my scheduling link so that you can book a call and we can talk it out. And through that avenue, I can then be prepared to record our meeting, so then I have the notes so that I can better serve you, right? So that's my style of communication. I know CPAs that you can call them day or night. They got you. You can text them day or night. And to each their own. If that resonates with you, that's the type of accountant you want, that you're on speed dial. There's accountants out there that are like that. But if you're cool with the email process, you're cool with the booking a call, then find an accountant that has that style, right? And the beautiful thing is you can find that. You can find that. So I think communication is everything. And so I've actually had to turn down potential clients who only wanted to talk by phone, who said that technology, I don't know how to use it, or some type of excuse that, let's be honest, like it's an excuse. And so I know for me that if someone can't honor my current systems, then maybe that's not the right person for me. And so, same for you. If you know you are a phone person, but the accountant only wants emails, it may not be a good fit. Okay. So, that's another question to ask. What is their communication style? And then another question, very important, is what's the price? I have this, I need your help with this. How much does it cost? And sometimes when you're on that call, the accountant may not have the number right then and there because each case generally may be customized, right? So, for instance, if you're a business owner, you need tax planning, you have past year's tax returns to do, you have IRS notices, right? You have a lot going on. They're going to need some time to really dig into your situation. They might have follow up questions for you that did not get answered during that initial call. And so they're going to ask you, they're going to be thorough. In fact, that's something you want to look for. Are they just giving you a price up front? And it's just like, okay, whether it's high or low, whatever, it's like, wait, it didn't seem like you did due diligence before you quoted me. And that could potentially be a red flag. It depends. You want an accountant who takes their time, they're not in a rush. Because let's be real, accountants are not surgeons. So nothing really is pressing like that. So if you're a person who needs it turned around the next day, 2 days, the same week, and your accountant takes their time, it's not that they're putting you off, it's just you're not their only client, right? And so that's going to matter too with how quickly you want things. So keep that in mind as well. And then I will say the last question, or there's multiple questions you can ask, but another big question that you want to know is generally what is their turnaround time? If you give them all the information they need for preparing your tax return, the next day, how long is it going to take them to turn it around? And depending on the time of the year, that answer will vary. It could take a week, it could take 3 weeks, right? They might need to file an extension. So just be honest with yourself. Do you need it now? Or can you wait a week? Can you wait 3 weeks or whatever the time frame that they give you? It's very important to ask those questions so that you can have peace of mind and you're not micromanaging your accountant. Because let's be real, no one likes being micromanaged where you're sending them emails every day and vice versa. So keep that in mind. All right. Next, let me talk to you about bookkeeper, CPA, tax preparer, tax planner, right? There's all these different titles for quote unquote an accountant. So let me break it down real quick. So, what is a bookkeeper? Generally, a bookkeeper is somebody who does your books, your finances. They get your transactions together so that you have financial reports that you can utilize. And so, this person is going to be asking you for bank statements. They're going to be asking you for receipts. They're going to be asking you to clarify what is this transaction? What did you spend this money on? Who's Yelp, right? They're going to be asking you those types of questions so that they can categorize your expenses and put your books together so that you can then pull your profit and loss statement, your balance sheet, those financial reports that are needed to then file your taxes or to show to the bank if you're looking to get a business loan, right? So that's what a bookkeeper does. They keep your books in order. And a bookkeeper, you can even hire bookkeepers to help you with invoicing, help you with collecting payments from your customers, right? They can really be involved with your day-to-day operations. But on the biggest scale, a bookkeeper is someone who manages your books, your numbers, your bank statements, things like that. What is a CPA? So a CPA is a certified public accountant. A CPA is licensed by their state. The state in which they live in is the state in which they can operate and have their clients. Look, I'm in California, so if I decided I wanted to move, let's just say to Texas, and I wanted to continue practicing as a CPA in the state of Texas, I would have to look into Texas's rules of how to transfer or upgrade my CPA licensure so that I'm eligible to stay active in the state of Texas, right? And so imagine what goes into being a CPA, right? Every 2 years, we have to have continuing education so that we're on top of tax law, accounting law, audit law, all those things so that we are in compliance. And so this is really, really good. So CPA, they can do many things. A CPA can do your books, but generally a CPA can do tax preparation, a CPA can do tax planning, a CPA can do auditing, a CPA can do, they call it forensic accounting, right? So if they're working with a bank and making sure that transactions are legit, they're not fraudulent. So a CPA can do many, many things. So just because someone is a CPA doesn't necessarily mean that they can do your taxes. And so again, we go back to asking the questions. How can you help me? Who are your clients? What kind of work do you do? Because we don't want to assume that a CPA is doing everything. So ask those questions. And then next, a tax preparer. What is a tax preparer? Generally, it's going to be someone who prepares your taxes. You want to ask the questions, well, what type of taxes do you do? Do you just do individual taxes? Do you do corporate taxes? Do you do nonprofit taxes? Do you do payroll taxes, right? So just because someone is a tax preparer doesn't mean they automatically do the type of taxes that you have. You need to ask those questions. And then lastly, a tax planner or tax strategist. That is somebody who is going to be proactive in maximizing your tax savings by applying tax strategy to your situation. So whether it's your business situation, your individual, personal situation, they're trying to save you the most money. And so generally a tax planner, tax strategist, usually they're going to be CPAs or they're going to be tax attorneys, right? They're going to be the highest credentialed professionals because when it comes to tax strategy, tax law, they're looking at the tax law, the tax code to make sure that they're in compliance when applying different tax strategies to your situation, because oftentimes they're going to have to substantiate and record what the position is that they're taking for you in the case that the IRS tries to come and say, actually, what's this? Give me more information about this. You're trying to take this $10,000 deduction. I need proof, right? And that's not a bad thing if the IRS comes at you with a letter. When you have a tax strategist, a tax planner, a CPA, they know, oh, that's just normal. The IRS is doing their due diligence. But again, we, the tax professional, we do our due diligence by keeping records, right? By being ready to substantiate whatever position we've taken for our clients. Okay. And so I would say, just a little bonus, find you someone who's a CPA, who does tax strategy, who can prepare your return, and maybe they even offer bookkeeping services, payroll services, tax preparing services for your business and your personal, right? All in one. That's ideal if you can, right? And if you are somebody who needs an all in one, talk to me. Like, I generally reserve my clientele for someone who's a business owner making minimum 500,000 to 3 million in annual revenue. They have up to 5 employees and then maybe like some contractors. They need payroll, they need corporate returns, they need tax strategy, they need tax preparation, they need tax planning. Boom. Me and my team, we do it all for a monthly amount. Gives you peace of mind, give you clarity. You talk to us, like, we've got you. Okay. So the idea is that you grow to that. But for now, if you just need the tax preparer, that's totally fine as well. Again, you have those questions to ask. You know what you don't want in an accountant. And now you have the peace of mind to move forward with confidence as you hire someone. Okay. Now, that was a lot. I totally get it. And so if this video helped you to feel more confident about who to hire, hiring the right accountant for you, then go ahead, please drop me a comment below. I want to know because I want to make sure that I'm providing you with the right videos that are going to be helpful for you in your business today and as you continue to grow. So drop it in a comment below. Let me know what questions that you have about your taxes, about your business, so that I can create the right videos that are actually going to help you. And if you want a simple way to start saving money on taxes today, then you want to grab my free 7 tax write-off every single small business owner should take, right? This is a free checklist that gives you 7 write-offs that you need to be taking today. Grab it in the link below. It's in the description box. And I want you to download that so you can start saving today. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. And until next time, peace.